Dr. Mike here. 30 million people suffer from sleep apnea. Are you one of them? Well, stick around to learn what you can do.
You're listening to Live Foreverish, a show dedicated to helping you live just a little longer. Here's your hosts, Dr. Mike and Dr. Crystal Gossard.
All right, welcome to Live Foreverish. Sleep apnea, major problem. I think most people have heard of it. They know this is not good. Comes with a lot of bad consequences over time. So it's best to know if you got it, and it's best to treat it at the end of the day.
Yeah, because you're not breathing.
Right.
You're not getting oxygen.
Yeah. It's not. You're not lacking sleep. You're lacking oxygen.
Right.
Which then maybe also leads to a little lack of sleep too. But
yes,
that even makes it worse. So what we really wanted to talk about today, right, is not so much what it is and all that kind of stuff. It's more about how we can test for it. Right?
Yes, because there are options now.
There are, and I got to tell you, because there's option, I think we're going to see more people going ahead and do this. Now, when it comes to, did you want to go over some of the ways sleep apnea is classified or not? Or you want to get right into the testing?
I don't think so. I think if it's applicable, we can weave it in.
Go back to the, yeah.
Yes,
so let's just
there are some people that may require a specific type of testing.
Right. So there's two main, traditionally there was one way to do sleep apnea testing. It was called a sleep test, right? This is where you would actually go to a clinic, a sleep clinic. They would hook you up to 3,000 different types of leads. I don't know, it's 3,000.
A lot.
You'd have some tubes sticking up in place. No, I'm just kidding. They don't do that. But you have a lot of. It's just they hook you up to a bunch of stuff, and then they lay you down in a very uncomfortable bed, and they go back behind this window. You got about 5 people watching you, and then they turn on the monitor. They turn on the intercom. Okay, go to sleep. Click. That's about what it is.
Like you're supposed to sleep with people watching you.
It's like. What?
Yeah, I've never done one before, but I hear that's how it's done. But it's the gold standard, Dr. Mike.
It is, because eventually people, it's not that bad. They play some muse. I mean,
does it look like a bedroom? Do they try to make it look like?
There may be some that evolved to that, but I've seen the original sleep clinics, and it looked like a hospital ward.
Sterile.
I'm like, how?
No fuzzy carpet, like no fuzzy rug.
Nothing. But I think some realized, okay, we got to make this a little bit easier. But when you do fall asleep, monitoring your brain waves and all this kind of stuff and your oxygen level and blah blah blah, it is the gold standard and it works.
All right.
Period. Right. But it's hard to do. A lot of people never show up.
I hear so limitations, cost. I didn't know that cost was an issue. I guess
definitely early on cost. Well, I'm not even sure if insurance paid at some
and maybe
early
access.
on.
Think about the people who may not live in like an urban community.
Well, because you'd have to then plan to have a hotel somewhere, drive there. You're talking about a couple of days, right? So it's an ordeal. And so what they found even early on was the compliance of showing up was quite low.
Well, and then there's another study involved over 800 people. About half reported experiencing the first night effect. I'm saying that in quotes. So I didn't even know that existed. So half of people, like we know, they're going to have poor sleep quality due to
right.
the first night effect.
Yes, yeah. It is the gold standard. It can produce good results, but it's like almost working. It's like a lab. It has to be like this perfect environment, and the person actually has to sleep.
Right, but it's the gold standard because it's testing so many parameters.
It's looking at your brain. It's looking at your chest movement, breathing, airflow movement. I'm sure a couple of things I'm missing. It is extensive, and it is the way to diagnose sleep apnea. There's no doubt. But the issue becomes if people can't do it, what's the point of the gold standard? True. And that's why we've seen new developments, right? You never went through. Yeah, I didn't either. I was in the clinic I was
Okay.
I was one of the people watching
Okay.
because we had to do it
Right.
in medical school. It was just really interesting. But so it's a weird thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I bet it's better now though. Like if I would assume we've learned to at least make the beds comfy.
Okay.
Maybe have some better lighting.
Okay.
They did have when I was there. They did have music they played. I remember that.
I don't know if I would like that or not, but okay. So now we have home sleep apnea tests. And it seems like the candidates are people without significant comorbidities such as cardiopulmonary disease, neuromuscular conditions, or this says, or chronic opioid use.
Yeah. Well, and that's because in those groups, you're better off getting more things tested, which is what the sleep clinic can do. It's not like a medicine contraindication where if you do a home test, you might put yourself at danger. That's not what it is. It's just that the reliability of the results may not be enough if you have these comorbidities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And so you do have to. So a lot of insurances. If you have a bunch of stuff going on, they may not approve a home test.
But the current ones, I believe they kind of report back. So they're measuring, and some of them are connected through the power of technology.
You can be
back
directly
to
connected. Yes, you can.
The sleep clinic.
You can be directly connected, or some of them just record.
Okay.
And then that recording is what's collected and then played. At the end of the day, it's sleep specialists, regardless of which one you do, right? Whether you're in the sterile clinic or at your own home, it is the same specialist.
Okay.
Like reading these things.
Right.
It's
so
not.
they're still being read by a professional.
Yeah. And I would assume most of these at-home devices, they probably maybe have some specialists on staff who are reading this, or they've made a contract with the sleep specialist at the hospitals.
Yeah. And then so some limitations that I'm seeing, a significant number of false negatives and false positives.
Yeah. A lot of that might be in some of the earlier at-home ones, there were some things you had to connect. And it was probably more related to user error.
Yeah, because we're measuring blood oxygen concentration, nasal pressure, pulse changes, and actigraphy. So rest versus activity. So it's pretty.
It is extensive, and
it's
in the old ones,
we're not talking about a watch.
Yeah,
which we'll talk about that later.
That's what's changing though, because what we do believe is happening with these limitations, these false positives, is that it's more things aren't connected right. And you're not getting the right data, the right report, and that's where the errors are coming from. Now, everybody, even humans, have false positives, false negatives. No one is perfect. No technology is perfect, right? But when you already have some technology issues, and then you add to that things aren't being hooked up right, it's not a good result.
This is a waste of time.
Yeah, and so a lot of people early on when they were doing these at-home tests were getting notices that, well, you need to go have a sleep study.
Well, that was the other thing. So if it turns out that the home test is negative, but you're still having problems, then now you have to go into the office.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's always going to be like this with at-home testing, no matter what it is. There's the gold standard at a clinic or a hospital. Look at colonoscopies. Gold standard for colorectal cancer screening, right? But there's the in-home ones that
the stool.
Yeah, and if you're not at high risk, you can do that. If it comes back everything fine, okay. No, but if there's anything that they see that's weird,
Right.
You're going to have to go get a colonoscopy. You're going to still have to complete the gold standard.
Right. Okay.
Right? Yeah.
But it's a good first step.
It's because for some people it does work, and you get a good answer, and it's done for them. But it's to become a gold standard, you're going to have to improve upon the ease of doing it. And those
the accessibility
sensitivity
and all of the above,
and specificity of a screening tool, and it's those gold standards are they're the highest at those things.
What would be great if they can bring the in-office environment to the home, like actually have a health nurse and they have
Like
they
pet
come with
grooming that
all the
comes.
gear. Yes,
Yeah,
and
like
we're
pet-
coming to gear, and I'm gonna hook you up, and I'm gonna stay with you all night.
that could be
Maybe
a
that could
business.
be-
Hold on, wait. Forget what we just said.
Now, one thing, and as you're saying, as I'm saying this, what we're seeing and what we're reading, this information is coming from Life Extension Sleep Apnea Protocol. And we have one particular at home, FDA cleared device that we think that maybe you should ask for.
This is the Watch Pat.
The Watch Pat.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so right off the bat, this is easier to use. So that is helping to take away the user error part of maybe some of the false negatives, right?
Yes.
So that right there is a good thing. Now there's different versions of this. Do you want to explain? There's 100, 200, 300, right? So what does that mean? Like, how do you know what should I do?
Well, it's kind of like, Series 1, Series 2, Series 3. And the 300 is more compact. That's one of the newer ones.
It's just these are okay. So it's not like 100 might be for normal, like or 200 for no. It's
generations.
Generations. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So there is a study looking at it's just an observational study. Found no significant difference in the prediction between the 100 and 200, and the polysomnography for certain indexes, such as oxygen saturation, respiratory disturbance, so forth and so on. The 300 is compact. It includes the chest sensor and can measure sleep architecture. And so it's better. The 300 is better than the 200. And then the 1, if you're interested, so let me clarify. There's a 100, a 200, a 300, and then a 1 written ONE spelled out.
Okay.
The 1 is the latest and greatest. Not the benefit there is that it's fully disposable. So you don't have to send it back.
Yeah.
Like your kit. So I would say maybe the 300
is where is a good.
But the brand is Watch Pat.
Watch Pat.
There are a couple of about 3 other FDA cleared ones, but the Watch Pat device is more extensively studied. Like this is the one that we would say is the most reliable right now.
Yeah, and it does. I think because the data is more reliable. Even if it's not matching perfectly the gold standard, although it is in some parameters,
yes,
but not all of them,
very similar,
right. So you can't say you're superior to the gold standard at all. You're not even equivalent because it didn't cover all the things.
Yeah.
However, in the most important measurements, which is really oxygen,
they're the same.
It allows doctors to start prescribing treatment.
Yes.
Right? The doctor still may want to follow up with a formal one, but because the main things we're really looking at are equivalent to the gold standard, I think more and more doctors will be like, let's start treating right now.
Oh, yes. I mean, it can diagnose sleep apnea. And then just a quick note on the wearable devices. I keep holding mine up because I sometimes wear it, but it gets annoying. So I stop wearing mine for sleep.
You have a habit of buying these things.
No, this is a regular watch. It's just the sleep piece is an added bonus.
No, I'm just saying you get these fancy things. I mean, you got water bottles that talk to you, and you use them for like a week.
Let me tell you. Well, longer than a week, Dr.
Not
Mike.
that one that had the bells and the lights.
I didn't use it for that long. My husband was very sad. That was a birthday present, and
I remember you would bring that into the studio sometimes, and we would be doing a podcast. That thing would be sitting out, and the lights would flash, and I'm not even listening to you anymore. I'm looking at the light flashing, like, what is that?
So the wearable devices cannot definitively diagnose sleep apnea. So that's not what they're for.
I don't.
Not designed for that.
I don't. And who knows what the future is going to bring? But I think Watch Pat is more where it's at
Yep.
for the future, and it'll be I think amazing. I do believe there's going to be a time when we will have a wearable device that is as good as the gold standard.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they can give you a clue.
Yeah,
So,
well, the
you
watch
know,
pad, I think you have enough to actually start treating, like we said. I mean, that's a big clue.
Very, very true. But just one note. The Samsung Galaxy Watch and the Apple Watch, certain models, they have received FDA clearance for use in monitoring some parameters that may inform you that you may be dealing with risk. But then you need to follow up with a study.
Yeah, because the FDA clears you for some parameters, it is not saying you're a screening tool.
Boom. Okay.
That's a totally different level of clearance. Yeah.
It's approval.
It's
and
just like, all right, that's pretty good data. Yeah, for some people, sure, that's fine. We'll let you use that. Insurances can blah, 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 but that's not screening. Yeah, okay. All right.
Okay.
Sleep apnea is serious. And anything we can do to make the screening process easier, but yet still effective,
Yeah.
right? Sensitive and specific. That's screening tools. It's great news. Same with colorectal and all this stuff. I mean, and all of this stuff, I do believe the technology is just going to get better and better and better.
I believe so as well. And I just, Life Extension has a protocol, and you can just go to lifeextension.com, type in sleep apnea. You can get to the protocol that way. And I think if you do lifeextension.com/sleep apnea will take you to the protocol, and it goes into more detail,
A lot
the
more
different,
detail.
yes.
Yeah, for sure.
The pros and cons, the comparison studies.
Well, plus you can learn a lot about sleep apnea too.
Yes.
Yeah. What it is, the
why
risks.
it matters.
Yeah, why it matters, all that kind of stuff. So that's great. And when you're since you're over at lifeextension.com and you're at /sleep apnea,
I'm double checking.
Enjoying a nice little read of our scientific protocol. I mean, they are dead. I mean, a lot of people use them as references, these because they're, But we have made the online versions have become easier to read.
They're very easy to read.
Yeah, I think they're great. We've even added some videos. And
there's images. I'm looking now, anatomy of the airway. It's a great learning tool, and it's a great guide to just help you to navigate the health concerns.
So lifeextension.com, our sponsor, they also offer sleep testing, right? Don't we also? No, not sleep. No, what do we offer? Isn't there something around sleep? What is it?
Not sure.
Okay. Well, listen.
I can look.
When you're there,
because I'm here.
Yeah, she's going to look. But go ahead and shop around, and when you're there, you can use the discount code podcast, and you'll get $10 off, $50 more plus free shipping and handling. There is testing there. Maybe there's not something related to sleep. I thought there was something, but
I'm looking to see if we have maybe a panel. We do have sleep hormones. Maybe that's what you're thinking
that's what
about.
I'm thinking.
The sleep hormones. It's a saliva test to look at your sleep hormones.
Lifeextension.com plus the discount code podcast. Use it. You get a little bit of a discount on that lab.
Yes.
Yep. And don't forget liveforeverish.com. Right? liveforeverish.com. Tons more episodes you can download, like, and share. And please review. We like that stuff. We really appreciate it. You really help us out. And we appreciate you taking the time to listen and giving us some of those reviews.
That's right.
Right? liveforeverish.com. I'm Dr. Mike. That's
Dr. Crystal.
Thanks for listening.